Hello everyone, this is Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today and Tuesday. Also, the post office is open tomorrow on Christmas Eve, so we have to think about that tonight for tomorrow. But yeah, decent sales for like this stuff's probably not going to make it there, but we'll see. So the first thing right here, this was actually used to be mine. There was a small phase in my 20s where I was into comic books. I got Y the Last Man. I got the Runaways, which is like a Marvel series. And I got some of the, I would like dabble into different, series. There was Halloween, or sorry, Trick or Treat. It was a one shot. That was a good one. Some Batman ones. But then someone told me to read Trans Metropolitan. I didn't like it as much. I don't remember too much other than it was like this like political, futuristic, apocalyptic, mystery, gaudy kind of comic book. But I could see people being into it. But yeah, this was mine. This ended up going for, so I have like a weird setup because the other phone was almost dead. So yeah, sorry about that. $6.99 plus shipping. Everything's gonna be plus shipping. So yeah, glad I get a little bit. I probably spent about that back in the day for that one. All right, moving along. We have a combo order. This is gonna be for War Machine. The old stuff is good for the new stuff, which is now licensed by Steamforged Games, which also does a lot of good board games. They're kind of not controversial, but some people don't like the board games, but I think they do IPs pretty well. So that's my opinion. All right, first up is going to be 5 of these. These are Cricks. These are Bone Jacks. These are going to be little light war jacks. They have like light war jacks, and then they have like big ones. These are basically like a smaller squad. They're pretty decently painted, probably at like a B quality if you're, grading it like A, B, C. Then they also picked up Knights Exemplar Seneschal. This is going to be a solo figure. Solo figures just have like special abilities and they're on their own. They're not a squad. So these are 2 different factions. This is kind of like a necromancer robots faction, and then the protectorate of Menoth are like the righteous religious people. But yeah, excuse me. This ended up going. Oh shoot, the timer on this is pretty low, so it goes blank pretty quickly. So I'm gonna have to hold my hand over it. $43.38 for those 2. I made a note that I got the Protectorate of Menoth, the one in the clamshell, for $3 at auction. I suspect I'm going to have a harder time getting War Machine stuff now that the older stuff is usable and people are going to know that. So I wish I had more time to gather more of it, but it is what it is. People should keep an eye out for it. All right, next up is going to be some Christmas ornaments here. Maybe a late gift or something, or maybe they thought that Christmas was on the weekend. I do know it's like surprised some people that it's coming like very, very, very soon. So yeah, we got these at an estate sale. Actually, Netta picks out all the ornaments. All ornaments either like look good to me, so she picks out which ones are like the good quality ones, the ones that she thinks people will like. They end up going for $9. That was a huge like bulk buy from someone that we bought from many estate sales, so they always give us a good price on the last day. When within the last few hours, we always come and we basically get the scraps. It's not scraps for us, but like at that point, it's scraps for everyone else. It's already passed by thousands of eyes, so we get a cheaper price. All right. Next up is going to be Vintage Uno. This one I believe is from 1979. I will grab Uno, even though there's a lot of supply of Uno out there. People sometimes want the specific backs. They want the specific front, like, the reverse and the wild. Those art do change from year to year. And then, yeah, some people just want to be nostalgic for like the one that they remember. This deck is used. This is still the cards are still in like a good shape. I would put them at like an A-. But yeah, especially for 1979. But yeah, $9.10. That's about what I would expect for that, even though there's a lot of Unos out there. I still like to pick them up. It's probably one of the most popular family holiday, just like card games in general. There's also like poker and stuff, which is playing card decks. But even with newer board games and card games, Uno is still pretty much king for that. All right. Next up is going to be an empty World of Warcraft trading card game like deck box. This one's pretty cool. It has like an interesting shape. It's kind of like a little rectangle. You can still hold cards and stuff in there. Some of these metal ones are a little iffy for me because they have like a little, like an edge, like the edge on the top can sometimes, when you pull out cards, can catch on sleeves, which makes it annoying, at least for me personally, for my collections and cards. But yeah, this is it still has cool art. It's like an official one. It's by Cryptozoic right there, and Upper Deck. Yeah. Was this one Cryptozoic? I always forget. I remember there was like multiple companies that ran this one at different points. This one's Upper Deck. But yeah, it's official. Sent out going for $20 to repeat buyer. All right, moving along. We have, where did I put it? It's like over there. I'll grab it. Sorry, I forgot to grab this one. I forgot this thing. It's pretty big. Big for the video, I guess. It's easy to curl up for shipping. We're going to use one of those poster tubes. They got 3 of these laminated maps for like a certain RPG. I'm holding it upside down. I'm not flopping this or switching this right now. I'm not rotating it. This is already unwieldy and cumbersome. But yeah, it's 3 of these. They're laminated. I like to get the poster maps and board game maps when they're laminated. That's just like extra effort for people, and it would be expensive for people to do it themselves. So yeah, it's just part, like you put these together and you get a part of this RPG world. People like to frame these. They like to use them for creating their dungeons for players and just knowing the whole lore of the particular game that they're playing. A lot of people write a lot of stuff for the RPG games. A lot of people care about it. That's like a huge portion of playing role-playing games. All right, $24.49. I'm out of breath for those 3 right there. All right, next up is going to be 4 vintage like Army Men figures. These ones will look way more detailed than like the classic, the Toy Story like Soldier Army, Green Army Men figures. These were going to be from the 1960s. That's about all I got. So someone picked them up. I got a bunch of these toy soldiers. I did like a quick video many years ago about it. Got like a big bin. Just try to organize them the best I can. It was kind of my first foray into like the 60s and 70s like soldiers and stuff. So $8.39 for those. I know people collect them and like them. All right. Next up is going to be a book right here. This is the Song of El Cuquy right here, and Other Tales of Puerto Rico. It's a pretty cool book. I generally like other stories from other cultures and stuff, like mythology and just other stuff that I wouldn't have run across myself. So someone is picking this one up. When I pulled this, I was like, I don't even remember listing this one. I definitely listed it because it's sold and we're shipping it out. $7.69. Yeah, people usually get intrigued when like there will be like a popular movie that will like pick a certain like, god or goddess, and people are like, oh, this actual lore is pretty cool. So always some cool stuff to learn. All right, next up is going to be this empty tin right here. We used to pick up a bunch of tins. This is probably for like cookies or something like that, or chocolates, or like this one's pretty bulky. So I got a lot of space. Like it opens up pretty well. Cleaned it out the best I could when I got it. But yeah, this one is, maybe it's just someone's gonna use it for storage. I have to keep opening up the phone. This has been annoying. $10.75. Sorry for the grungy video. It's like word of the week. All my videos have been grungy. All right, next up is going to be a Stitch like frame right here, Bambi. This one is pretty well done. I'm pretty sure someone did this. I don't think this was like a one that someone like bought. It's already ready to hang up, unless if someone wants to frame it in something else, but it's probably a little bit of a pain to move this into a different frame. But yeah, super well done. We don't really do artwork, but we'll pick up like cheaper, interesting things at estate sales occasionally. A lot of estate sales stuff sold today. But yeah, this ended up going for $20.41. All right, moving along, we have a combo order. This was going to be 2 different, I think, miniature rule books, or Star Corps Call to Battle. This one looks like a superhero role-playing game book, so they picked up this one. Really cool art. I like this one. It's not as comic-y. It's like more like colored pencil drawn out. And then they picked up Cav. I've sold this before. This is like some kind of robotic sci-fi. It says Combat Assault Vehicle. This is going to be a miniature game. I believe this is the core rule book. It's by company Reaper Miniatures. They make a ton of miniatures. Or maybe that's also Reaper Bones. No, I think it's the same thing. I think it's the same company. So obviously they have some games to go along with their miniatures occasionally. Big company. $13 for the combo of these 2, so nothing too crazy. It was like a $5 offer was sent on one. This is going international, so they sent me a message. They were like, well, hey, I have an offer coming in from another one of your books. Can we combine the shipping? And I was like, I have to make a new listing for it, or else you were going to get double charged in shipping. You can't combine it after the fact if there's offers being sent. It's like a specific order of the offers being sent, which is how we have our business strategy, where we have to actually make a new listing. Really frustrating. eBay should be able to get on that. That's like one of my top 3 things that like eBay just needs to fix at this point. The eBay international shipping is amazing, other than combo orders. And then combo orders are important for people for overseas because they want like the shipping to be calculated at like the best rate possible with the dimensions, the smallest rate, while still protecting the item, while still being the lowest weight. It's like a huge deal. All right. Next up, I mean, we always make new listings, but it seems unnecessary. All right. Next up is going to be Blood Bowl. This one's going to be incomplete. This is going to be, I'm going to have to move my hand from the phone, by Games Workshop. I think this one is like a 90s one. It's missing the miniatures, but it has a lot of like the cards, the pieces. You've seen me sell like the bits and pieces to this. You got like the little acrylic, can't think of it, templates right here, tokens, Got the board, got the dice. You've seen me sell the dice before, just no miniatures. But yeah, this ended up going for the weights, $35. So that one's pretty good. All right, next up, I didn't realize this much stuff sold. I wasn't paying as much attention yesterday. I was just like listing a little bit, and that I was dealing with the offers. ERTL, just like one of these red tractor die-cast cars. This one's a pretty good quality one. People like different trucks and stuff. Probably slightly better than some of the Hot Wheels stuff that we get, or like the Matchbox. People like tanks, or just like the harder vehicles that come by. This ended up going for $9 for this individual one. Sometimes I'll lot these up together. We've sold bigger ERTL tractors and green ones for like 30, 40 bucks way before we were recording on YouTube. All right, next up is going to be Warhammer, not fantasy. What's this one called? This one is called Mighty Empires. This is going to be a special little tile, 2 hexes, like a promo tile set right here. This is going to be yet another Warhammer game where I believe you're fighting over territories. You're using these hexes to build out the map. So it's kind of like cool. It's like a modular map you build. That's about as much as I know about it, but there's a lot of games in the Warhammer universe. Sometimes you can use miniatures from one game for the other. But yeah, there's a ton of Warhammer stuff and people like it. This ended up going, I sold this one before, this particular set, these 2 tiles, $14.69 for that. All right, 2 items left. We have Warhammer Underworlds. This is a custom printed container. Unfortunately, I already have it nicely sealed up. This pops open, and Warhammer Underworlds is a different game where you're fighting over also objectives on like a board. And then you put out these little objectives that you're fighting over in your squads, usually like, 4 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, depends on like what race or faction you're playing. And then there's going to be a deck of cards, and there's different ways to get like victory points, and you spend them, and you can upgrade your characters by like doing certain events and stuff. This is all of factions dice and all the tokens they would need, as well as the objective tokens. And it's a container that's specifically like 3D printed to house them. So it's both. This is the container and all the stuff that came in it. Got a Warhammer Underworlds collection with no miniatures. I organized all the cards. These I just listed as is. $18.89 for that. I have like 12 of those. Like it was like someone's whole set, and they must have played a bunch, and they must have had everything organized by like decks. And I listed the deck boxes. You see me sell the boulders, the Game Genic one. So it was a collection that I just kept on giving. All right, not just like the cards for it. This is going to be the last thing. Sega Dreamcast. This is going to be one of the hockey games. This is NHL 2K. I probably wouldn't list something like this these days. I'd probably want to save onto this stuff, but I used to just like grab any of the video game stuff and then make sure it worked, and then make sure that like everything was clean and stuff about it. There is a little crack in this case right here. But yeah, I would keep Sega Dreamcast stuff at this point, but there's whatever I have listed. I'm not going to like cancel orders on people. I'm not going to like, go back into the past and cherry pick stuff I list. If I list it, it's fine. But I'm just saying now I would kind of collect this stuff because I think it'll be worth more later on as more things get digital. And then the physical stuff, doesn't have like advertisements, and you can just keep using it as long as you don't break it and you take care of it. $6.75 for this. I never really fully disrespected the sports games because I know people like them. My dad used to ask for like sports games to like do the little manager stuff within the games. I've never played them other than like the GameCube, NBA Streets, and then the Mario Strikers for also GameCube, and maybe a couple other ones, Blitz for N64. So I've half played some. So I know people like them. Like sports games are super popular. But yeah, that's everything. Sorry for the grungy video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our links down below. Have a good one.